Hello everyone, I'm Arunima from Knit and Otter, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make Tunisian extended stitches. I'm going to start with a foundation row, and then I'm going to talk about a couple of stitches that you can make this way. So if you make a foundation row for a regular crochet stitch, for instance a Tunisian simple stitch or a full stitch or a knit stitch, there's a separate video tutorial I have for that. But the foundation row chain, the chain that you make is the same number as the number of stitches. So if you wanted 5 stitches in your foundation row, you'd make 5 chains. But the extended stitches are slightly taller, so you'll make an extra chain in your foundation chain, and you'll see how that works up. So for this tutorial I'm going to make 11 chains, so I will have 10 stitches in my foundation row. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and you skip the first and the second chain from the hook and you make a stitch in the third. So you insert your hook in the back bump here, yarn over, pull through, and chain 1. So that's how you make that foundation row stitch. So that's 1, and then the next one, again insert your hook in that back bump, yarn over, pull through, and chain 1. I'll do this for every chain that remains here. So insert, yarn over, pull through, chain 1, insert, yarn over, pull through, chain 1. That completes it. So it's 2 4 6 8 10 loops on the hook at this point. So I started with 11 chains and I now have 10 stitches, 10 loops on the hook. So the return pass is the same as any other stitch, that is a chain 1 and yarn over, pull through 2 loops all the way to the beginning. So that's how it looks. I'm now going to make, so this is the foundation row. So for any extended stitch, this is the foundation that you will make. Now I'm going to make extended simple stitches. So I'll make 2 rows of extended simple stitches, so you'll see how to make them. Another thing now you have to do is that normally we just leave this loop on the hook and not do anything for that first stitch, but for the extended simple stitch or for any extended stitch you will chain 1, because the reason we do this is because the extended stitches are taller than the regular stitches, so that's why we need to adjust for that in that first stitch as well. So I'm going to chain 1, and then we're going to work in this vertical bar here, insert, yarn over, pull through, and chain 1. So that's a simple stitch, extended simple stitch. So yarn over, chain 1. I'm going to do that for every stitch in this row. And in this last stitch here, so this was the chain 1 that we made. So here, insert your hook in the 2, pick up the 2 vertical bars, yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1. So that's how this is looking at the end of the forward pass. And this is a non-curling stitch, so you can see that you don't experience any curling with it. Now go ahead and make the reverse pass, so that is yarn over, chain 1. So this is the chain in which you make the last stitch of the next the edge stitch of the next row. Now I'm going to chain 1 and yarn over, pull through 2 all the way to the beginning. So that's how it looks. This is 2 rows of Tunisian extended simple stitches. So you have to remember to chain 1 in the beginning and chain 1 at every stitch. And at the end you have to insert your hook in and pick up the last 2 vertical bars for every stitch. And that's pretty much it for simple stitches. I'm going to now make extended stitches using the Tunisian knit stitch. So it's the exact same concept. The only thing is that you insert your hook knitwise rather than like making a simple stitch. So you start with a chain 1 and then you insert your hook like you were making a knit stitch, which I have a separate tutorial for if you don't know how to do that. But you have to find these 2 vertical bars and insert your hook in between, and then yarn over, pull through and chain 1. And I'm going to do that again. So find that space between the 2 vertical bars of the next stitch, insert hook, yarn over, pull through and chain 1. So I'm going to do that all the way till the end. And it's the same here. Find the 2 vertical bars. So this was the chain that becomes a part of the reverse pass, and this is the chain 1 that was a part of the extended simple stitch. So to pick that one up and then yarn over, pull through and chain 1. Now to make the return pass, so this is how it's looking. So to make the return pass, you just chain 1 and then yarn over, pull through 2 all the way to the beginning. So that's how it's looking. You see the slight difference here in these are simple stitches. You can see these vertical bars, and here you can see these show up like knit stitches. So I'm going to make one more row so you can see more clearly. Start with a chain 1 and then insert your hook knitwise, yarn over, pull through and chain 1. Keep doing that all the way till the end. And find that edge stitch, the 2 vertical bars, and then chain 1, and that's how it's looking. And then I'm going to yarn over, chain 1 and then yarn over, pull through 2 all the way to the beginning. So that's 2 rows of extended simple stitches and 2 rows of extended knit stitches. I'm going to do 2 rows of extended purl stitches also, so you can see how that works up. So chain 1 and then bring the yarn forward, insert your hook in the next stitch, bring this yarn forward and insert your pull up a loop and chain 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for every stitch. and here find that edge stitch. That's how it looks. I'm going to chain 1 and then yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, I'm going to make one more row of this, so chain 1 and pull the yarn forward, insert, yarn over, pull through and chain 1. And that's how it's looking. And I'm going to chain 1 and yarn over, pull through 2, so I'm having some tension issues here, so you can see that this is a little tight, so you need to make sure that your chains are nice and loose here and to match up with the other side, but otherwise I think this can still be fixed with blocking. But so that's how it's looking. So these are 2 rows of extended simple stitches, extended knit stitches, extended purl stitches. I'm going to do 2 rows of extended full stitches. So chain 1, insert your hook in the space between the next two, the current stitch and the next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, chain 1. I'm going to do that for every space except for the last one. So if you want to know how to make these full stitches and why I'm skipping these spaces, you're welcome to check out my video for making full stitches. So I'm going to skip that last one and insert hook, chain 1. So that's how the full stitch is looking. And then I'm going to chain 1 and yarn over, pull through 2 all the way to the beginning. So that's 1 row of full stitches, and I'm going to make 1 more, and for that one I'm going to skip this first stitch and I'm going to make my full stitch in the second space. So that's how it is, and you can see that it's kind of lacy, so this would make a very breathable fabric. So that's 2 rows of extended full stitches, and I'm going to do 2 rows of extended reverse stitches. So chain 1 and make a reverse stitch. So you find that back vertical bar, the next stitch, yarn over, pull through and chain 1. So I'm going to keep going and make extended reverse stitches all the way till the end of the row. And yarn over, chain 1, and yarn over, pull through 2 all the way. So that's how one row of extended reverse stitches is looking. I'm going to make one more row. Start with the chain 1 and find that back vertical bar, yarn over, pull through, chain 1. So that's how it looks. And chain 1 and yarn over, pull through 2. All the way to the beginning. So you can see that this section is a little wider because full stitches are generally a little wider than the other stitches, but otherwise you can see the difference in different extended stitches. So this one is simple stitch, knit stitch, purl stitch, full stitch, and reverse stitch. So you could make a combination of these, or you could just use one of these in different projects. It would make, I think it makes a little drapey fabric because of how the stitch is, and it does not curl at all. And to bind off, you can pick whatever method you want. I normally use the stitch that I was making just before it. So here I have reverse stitches, so I would just go ahead and make reverse stitches and bind off. So I make a reverse stitch, bind off. If I were making knit stitches, I would have done a knit stitch, bind off. So it's completely up to you. It depends on what the pattern calls for. But if you're just making a regular square of one stitch, then you can bind off by making that stitch that you were making the extended stitch with. Here. So that's how it looks. So that's it about how to make extended stitches in Tunisian crochet, and I have a bunch of other tutorials if you are interested in learning more Tunisian crochet, and I also have free patterns that I have support videos for, so you're welcome to check those out. If you have any questions about this technique, please feel free to reach out to me, and if you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and so you can get notified when I upload any new videos. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.